Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, if I stop my dinner, it's probably going to get cold because of it. But I was listening to Jovan Buha's podcast, as I often do these days. And he was essentially saying that, he didn't believe D'Lo could be a guy for the Lakers. He didn't believe D'Lo could be on a winning roster unless that roster had a specific build. Because of some of D'Lo's deficiencies and his inability to perform in the playoffs for what the evidence has shown us. I'm different when it comes to D'Lo because I'm of the mindset that the NBA has always asked D'Lo to have a role that I never really thought he should have. Starting point guard? Nah. Shooting guard off the bench. Microwave scorer. That should have always been his role. Because what you can do with D'Lo, because of his height and his length, is put him at the 2 and the 3, depending on the rotations around him. I always had a different vision for D'Angelo Russell. He's a playmaking 2 with the ability to microwave score, but most importantly, a playmaking 2. I like him next to a defensive point guard who can slash at the basket, who plays well off the ball. Defensive key, though. I don't want him to be my point guard. I understand he can facilitate and get me 10 assists, but I also know he can have nights like last night, and I want some other guard doing all of that. Now, D'Lo and Austin, in theory, could be good, but Austin's not defensive enough. He's not strong enough to be next to D'Lo, in my opinion, for the role that I have in mind. I'm not sure who that player is. A cross between De'Aaron Fox and Drew Holiday type of build next to D'Lo, with like a KCP in front of D'Lo, but D'Lo still gets 32 minutes a night because he's coming off the bench, rotating for those two players. And then maybe he's playing some 3-ball as well, depending on how defensive my other backup guards are. Do you see what I'm saying? So I agree with him when he says a specific build of a team around D'Lo that can make him a winner. But I'm telling you, the thing about D'Lo that we don't want to lose sight of is, if he's like your 6th option offensively, your 5th option offensively, you can run the score all the way up. I'd love to see him in a situation like Indiana. That roster. Throw him in that mix with those guards. Let him be a part of that rotation with Nembhard, Halliburton, and those guys. You put him on that team, and they're going to run the score up, bro, especially with the way they play offense. That's where he probably should want to go, in theory. Replacing Buddy Hield or something like that. That type of situation where the guards are defensive. He's not asked to play defense. They got real rim protection like what we have here with AD. And then he could just be a scorer all night. Score all night. Or Orlando, where you got maybe he can replace one of those guards. Replace Fultz or something like that. That kind of role to where you have Harris, you have Suggs defensively down there being strong, and he can have one of them on the floor next to him at all times. You got Jonathan Isaac down there as well, hovering around, helping him defensively. These are the type of teams that I think D'Lo would be best on. I don't have to get rid of D'Lo necessarily if I have him on a contract that allows me to bring those pieces to him. We just got to find that defensive point guard. If you're going to have Austin down there as a mainstay, and you have D'Lo down there, and then you don't have that defensive guard anywhere, then you get what we got. That's not a good role for him, and you want him to be your main point guard. He can facilitate, and he can do some good things with his methodical way of doing things, but that's not a starting. He don't have a starting point guard's way of playing in this league, in my opinion. That's not. I'm going to always go with a De'Aaron Fox or Tyrese Maxey or Tyrese Halliburton or Tyrese Gibson. No, I'm kidding. But you get what I'm trying to say. You're going to always want somebody on your team that has a more athleticism and speed as your main point guard going up against the guys that are out there in this league. You don't want him running your point guard. You want him to be able to focus on more so scoring the rock. And if he can get his 3-point heater going, there's few out there like him who can run up the score like he can, who can really get hot like he can. And if he has an overnight, you got other guards that are doing the facilitating, playing defense, doing all the stuff. You can just sit him down if he's having an off night. No big deal, and it doesn't hurt the team. If we set him, it was a big deal because we didn't really have the pieces to really replace him. we were asking him to be our third best player or fourth best player. That's too high of a role for him. But if you adjust his role, he don't have to lead his team at all. You just got to adjust his role to make more sense to what it is that he does and bring the players to you that do the things that you were asking him to do. That's really what I see. So I have a different vision for D'Lo. I actually like the idea of having D'Lo on this team so long as you build that proper backcourt and small forward defensive tandem around him. And then let him play some three next to big guards. You know, because he's 6'6" with long arms. You don't want him defending real small forwards, but in small ball lineups, when you got potent two-way backcourt next to him, oh yeah, he's gonna be a part of a big guard lineup. So yeah, no, I don't agree with that assessment that he just can't be a part of this unit or that he just can't be a part of a winning unit. No, you just got to diminish the role or morph the role into something that better suits what you expect from him and what it is he does best. And if anybody can finally put him in that proper role, he's gonna have some big scoring nights ahead. He's too lethal of a weapon not to. And as he matures as a person, he's gonna become even more of a lethal weapon. So that's really what it is. I don't think his career is anywhere near over. I think a team would be great if they could get him at a lesser price than $18 million. They could really build something special. If he's on like a $9 million contract, you could really build something special. And you don't have to rely upon him to be your starting point guard or, be a main facilitator or to hit big shots in the playoffs necessarily. You can just enjoy his regular season heaters, which we were able to enjoy for a good portion of the season. When he has his big games, he go for 44 points. He running the score all the way up. So to say that I don't need that or that I can't use that piece, that's false. That's absolutely false. BDL44, I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.